All right, hi everyone. So I decided to watch the 4 short videos done by the History Channel that were put out in 2015. So they're a little bit outdated. They're, almost 10 years old at this point, or are 10 years old at this point. But I think I found them so interesting and helped me to get like a true timeline of the discoveries of DNA. So my understanding, because I've never researched DNA or don't know a ton about it, is that DNA was discovered a long, long time ago, and the sequence for DNA was discovered a long, long time ago. And, my grandmother is 91. So, I'm thinking early in her lifetime it was discovered. And although it was discovered in this time frame from 1940 to 1952, the research and like the deep dive to find the sequencing of DNA was actually done in my lifetime, which literally blew my mind. I know that there's been a big push to know more about it, and with genetic, I don't know if disorders is the right word, so forgive me if it's not. But with genetic disorders, scientists are always trying to figure out the cure and figure out where it is in the sequence. And I think a lot of those discoveries, they've been able to figure out where in the sequence there is a mutation, or difference, I should say. So it was just like, it just kind of blew my mind that the sequencing of DNA was really not like dove into and discovered and like started to be unraveled and like figured out until 1990. Like that's when it started. I was born in 1992. So I think, I could be wrong, but I think they said by 1998 or early 2000s is when like the completion of it was done, which is just amazing to me. Like, I thought this was done way before my time when my parents were younger. But it all kind of makes sense. I watch a lot of true crime things, and in true crime, they're like, in the 60s, 70s, they weren't really able to use DNA to convict people. And as we came into the 90s, they were. So I guess I just never put those two and two together. So that was something super interesting that I learned and really just like shocked me beyond belief. Put it into a different perspective for me that this is new information. And although it's kind of been discovered in the last 30 years, like in the sequence of history and of the world and our life, that 30 years is such a short time period. So I found that really, really amazing. One of the things that kind of confused me and I would love to hear more about is when they started talking in the last video, they started talking about how our genes change. So I guess I kind of always get confused between genes and DNA. Are those two things interchangeable? They seem very different, but not. And then they talked about in the video how like, how our genes change over time. So you can look at our genes from like a newborn, or DNA from a newborn, and then as you go on later in life, early adulthood and elderly, that they change drastically due to like environmental issues or diet, lifestyle, those types of things. So that is something I would like to have a little bit more understanding about. I know that they can change from diet, lifestyle, all those types of things, but is that the only thing they change from, or do they just naturally always change? That would be my question. Yeah, that would be my question for this video. I find it super interesting and also that part kind of confusing. So, alrighty guys, thanks.